was my birthday recently, and I decided to treat myself to a new wheelbarrow. This is my old wheelbarrow. It's a design icon. It's simple. It's a tubular frame, one wheel that's fixed to the frame, and a bucket fixed to the frame. It's perfect. But this wheelbarrow now has jagged edges. The tyre is punctured. I tried to pump it up. The wheel is rusted. I can't pump it up. It's finished. I've had it for about 25 years. It's old, it's done well, but it's got to go. It got me thinking about wheelbarrows and how I've never been without a wheelbarrow. I've gone through life with wheelbarrows. We've always had a wheelbarrow about the house. I've helped take a friend home on a Friday night, drunk in a wheelbarrow, not just round the corner, but for 2 or 3 miles. I worked at the docks in Lerwick with wheelbarrows there, okay, so they had 2 wheels, but they were wheelbarrows. I've wheeled peats out of the peat hill in Shetland, day after day after day, back-breaking work with a wheelbarrow. But when I think about it, my very, very first memory in life, probably 70 years ago, was of a wheelbarrow. My dad and the family lived in a council house in Wiltshire, and my dad had a vegetable plot at the back of the house and said we were going to go to the nearby farm and get some fertiliser, some manure. I would have been 3 years old at the time, and I got a lift in the wheelbarrow. It was an old wooden wheelbarrow with a wooden wheel, and off we went. Off we went down Bunny's Lane to the pig farm, and I was amazed at how strong my dad was. He could not only push this heavy wooden wheelbarrow, but he could push it with me in it. And then he got a fork and he loaded it up higher and higher and higher with pig dung. And the smell, I can remember the smell to this day. Oh, it was awful. And then off we set up Bunny's Lane, my dad pushing this heavy, heavy wheelbarrow, and I'm running alongside, holding on to the handle, helping him, of course, helping him to push it. But what I really remember was the awful smell, because I was only 3 years old, so I was only that high, and my face was right next to the manure. I was breathing it in all the time. It was awful. It was awful. And then he stopped, and he pointed up to the sky and told me to look up, and I looked up, and there was a bird hovering. It wasn't moving, it was just staying in the one place, and its wings were sort of fluttering. It was a kestrel. It was the first time I ever saw a kestrel. And my dad told me all about a kestrel. And I thought this was marvellous, and it's something I've never ever forgotten. That old wooden wheelbarrow and stopping and watching the kestrel. So anyway, here we are now with this old wheelbarrow that's past its day, and we're going to have to get a new one. And I've treated myself to a new one. So, goodbye old wheelbarrow. And look at this. In with the new. How about that? It's exactly the same. A slightly smaller bucket, because I'm getting older, but it's identical. A tubular frame, one wheel, and a galvanised bucket. And if that last wheelbarrow lasted me 25 years, this one is going to last me until I'm in my mid-90s. Who knows, 95, will I live that long? But if I do, this is the wheelbarrow I'll be using. And as I say, it's a design icon, but it's got one other important feature for the older owner. It's an armchair. Let's have a look. Look at that. Just the right height. angled at the back. Perfect. And to rest your feet. It's what builders do, isn't it? So when I'm in my 90s and slightly less able, and when I need to take a rest, I'll be able to sit back, look up into the sky, and who knows, watch a kestrel hovering above.